Our next guests are Bazzel and Tina Baz from the Association for the Recovery of Children. They are some of the frontliners, some of the people that have paved the way for others. And we are excited. They're not only going to be here and share in just a minute, but they're also going to stay over next week, Monday through Saturday. They're doing the ARC training, and we're really excited about that. We wanted them to do it right here on our campus, so we said, oh, please come and just do it right here on the embassy campus. So they're going to be doing that. We're going to see a couple of short videos, and then Bazzel and Tina Baz from the Association for the Recovery of Children will be coming up. So let's show the videos.
Whether you realize it or not, trafficking networks are infiltrating our country, and we can teach you who's doing what, where, and how. It's because trafficking is the #2, closely approaching the #1 criminal enterprise in the world, selling humans against their will.
So let us teach you what nobody else is teaching you on how to stop this in its tracks. Go to recoveryofchildren.com. We'll see you there. Hey guys, Bazzel Baz here. Most of you know me from the Blacklist. I'm also the founder of the Association for the Recovery of Children. You can find it on recoveryofchildren.org. I think a lot of people are aware that now we have 400,000 plus American children missing in our country, and now another 500,000 UACs, unaccompanied children. We're building out an army to find those children, and we need your help. So if you have a heart for saving children, come join us and let us train you up. Look at recoveryofchildren.com for our next courses and get there.
All right, let's welcome to the stage Bazzel and Tina Baz. God bless you, Tina.
Okay, are we on? Can you hear? How about up there, guys? Oh, good. Okay, great. Thank you. Wow. Thank you for having us. It's really an honor to be here. Troy Brewer, you got a gift. Boy, that guy's funny, isn't he? Oh my gosh. I can't ever be that funny, I'll tell you. And Lee, the next time she takes off her shoes, I got better socks for her. Okay? Lee, are you here? No? All right. And then, of course, Mary Flynn O'Neill. She is the Fighting Irish. You want her in your foxhole with you, trust me. So anyway, but we're happy to be here. You know, I think these numbers change a little bit, but last year or up to this year, we had close to, and again, this is not accurate, 438,000 American children missing. And according to Tom Holman, we have about 500,000 undocumented alien children missing. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Does that stir your heart? Let me see. That many?
Yeah.
Does that do something?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. What if it was just one child?
Come on, Bazzel.
What if it was just one child? Would you care as much? Let me see your hands. Would you care if it was one child?
Every child.
All right. Well, we're in good company today. So, how do you murder a child without killing them?
Wow, Baz. Come on, man.
How do you murder a child without killing them? The answer is pretty simple. You sexually exploit them.
Yeah.
And they die every single day
Yeah.
for the rest of their lives if they survive.
Yeah. Yeah.
My name is Bazzel Baz. I'm a Citadel graduate, former captain, United States Marine Corps, former CIA paramilitary case officer, Ground Branch, and I am the founder of the Association for the Recovery of Children, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization of former intelligence, military, and law enforcement officers dedicated to the recovery of missing and exploited and sex trafficked children. We are one of the oldest running child rescue organizations in America, started in 1993 after I came out of Mogadishu, Somalia. And we run our operations at no cost to custodial guardians and with no paycheck in our pocket. And by the way, no money from the government. So, we do this because it's the right thing to do. Please hear that. We do this because it's the right thing to do, okay? And thus far, we're blessed to have a 100% success rate, and that every child we've gone after in 34 years, we have brought home. So, our website, and it'll be up there, it's recoveryofchildren.org. Please take a look at it. But what I want to talk to you a little bit about today before I turn it over to Tina is sitting in this congregation right now is an entire army of God's chosen people to do this work. If you'll only get involved and realize that God has not given you a spirit of fear. You are the force to be reckoned with in a time and an age where Satan will flee if you stand up and fight. It's in an age where God's most precious children are hanging in the balance, and an age to which each and every one of you was born. It is not by any coincidence that you are here today. You could be 100 other places, but today, in history, you are here. And if you wish to be great, commit to something greater than yourself. Whatever it is you intend to be great at, it must have such a priority in your life that you'll stop at nothing to achieve it. It must be more than just a cool thing to do or a good idea. It must be a calling. And you'll know the difference because there'll be a gnawing at your soul that will not go away. And that what you're about to accomplish must be done at all cost, even at the expense of your own comfort, and in the most extreme cases, at the cost of your own life. Now, I believe it's a fair assumption that most of you who are here today because you actually care about this issue. And most of you realize that awareness, while somewhat effective, it's not bringing children home. How many people remember the picture on the milk carton on missing children? So what did we do? Children were missing. We put their picture on the milk carton. You went and bought the milk. And every day that you poured milk into your cereal or your coffee, you looked at that picture of that missing child and you believed that you were doing something about it because you were looking at the picture of the missing child on the milk carton. And you felt good that you were doing something about it by looking at the picture of the missing child on the milk carton. At the end of the week, what happened to that milk carton? Went in the garbage. Did that child come home? No. The fact is this, a child does not come home until there are boots on the ground that physically go into the evil, get their hands on that child, and bring that child home safely. Now at ARC, this is the way we look at it. When it comes to the children of our world, and particularly in the United States of America, I don't care who you are. You hurt our children, and we will break through any wall, any line, any army to get to you. 1,000 shields, 100 men, it will not stop us. We will bring fire and fury until there's nothing left standing between us. Our blood is our legacy, our heart beating outside our chest. So understand this. You mess with our children, and you will face a storm that will not stop. There's no warning, there is no mercy. Just a promise that you'll regret the day that you crossed us. We protect what is ours with everything we are. Because with our children, we will be relentless. We'll be unstoppable. And in the end, you'll see the force of our love is a battle that you will never win. So let me ask you here today, do you all feel that same way about this? So after 30 years plus being in the trenches fighting sex trafficking, all those who know me can confirm that I don't sugarcoat anything when it comes to this issue. Especially Craig Sawyer. Craig, are you here? There he is. He knows that. I live by a code of conduct planted by the seeds of God, by my ancestors, by the United States Marine Corps, and our founding fathers of this great nation, who I am certain would not want not one child to be harmed in our country. I'm here to point out the reality of this issue known as trafficking in America and why it's important for each of us to get in the fight and do more than just get dressed up and attend a wonderful gathering to pretend we care. So what is child sex trafficking? The word is so commonplace these days that when I mention it, people don't even blink an eye. So let me tell you what it is. It's the 7-year-old girl handcuffed to a floor in a closet with cigarette burns all over her body and so many STDs and trauma that she'll be fortunate if she lives to be 12. Who isn't fed in days and yet raped 15 times a day by male and female predators. And that is happening in our country almost every single day. The protection of all Americans is our duty. And the hearing and the reading of this trafficking issue may be useful, but if men and women rest in hearing and praying, as so many do, it's as if a tree should value itself for being watered and putting forth leaves and yet never producing any fruit. When did we allow evil to become stronger than us? It isn't stronger than us, but we allowed it to become stronger than us. When did that happen? For the love of these children and our country, I want to encourage you to take back your rightful place as citizens and be ready to follow in the footsteps of your founding fathers and get back into your communities and take over your communities so that you can say that no harm will come to any children in my community. Now, if you're a person of conscience, it is possible that the size and weight of this trafficking issue is enough to overwhelm your emotions today and discourage you from even getting involved in this fight. But let me assure you, there is hope, and it is found in every step you take to acquire the knowledge and skill set to win this battle, to save children. It is never about walking the right path, but are you walking the path the right way? The greatest battles fought are not against the world, but those that we fight against ourselves as to whether we will do whatever it takes to save children or we do nothing. Now, I know there are some in the audience right now that are saying to themselves, I might be too old to get into this fight. And I know what that's like when I have to write things down or I'll forget them, or where one for the road now means taking a piss break before you drive a long way. It happens. But please, do not regret getting older. It is a privilege denied to many. We do not rise to the level of our expectations. We fall to the level of our training. And you're never too old to be trained. But keep in mind, there is a balance even with training. People don't care about how much you know until they see how much you care. Now, I can tell you that before you tackle this world, because this is where we live in the trenches, and we hardly get to come up for a breath of air, see how well you do at home, in your home church, in your community, whether you're caring for the people in your congregation and addressing the issues like pornography and being doers of the word rather than just listeners, and taking action when it comes to those who need your help. Well, you say, I'm just one person, what can I do? Most of us who are war fighters that have been surrounded by the enemy have learned this lesson the hard way. One man or one woman with courage is a majority. Never forget that. Do not wait for the masses to come to your aid. You have God on your side. One man or one woman with courage is always a majority. Don't expect the federal government to take care of this problem. They do not know your community like you know your community. The problem is in your community and most communities around America. It's not sitting on the doorsteps of the White House. It's in your backyard and it is your responsibility to cut your own grass. And don't be disappointed with the results you get from the work you did not do. May I remind all of us here today that it is we, the people, not we, the government. Each of us has earned the right to decide the fate of the nation because we are the fate of this nation. Every child trafficked is waiting to be saved. If you do not, who will? If we do not, who will? So let me encourage you to become their voice and their shield. If you do this, you'll create a life that feels good on the inside, not just one that looks good on the outside. Now, I know someone else is sitting out there saying to themselves, well, this is easy for you to say, Mr. CIA Special Operations guy. You've been trained. Okay, Spanky. Let me tell you something. You and I have one thing in common, and it is the most important thing. We both have 24 hours in a day. So what are you going to do with yours? I've been in this war for 33 plus years now. And one day, after seeing all the ugliness, as much of it as I could stand when it came to this side of child sex trafficking, all over the world, and growing in America, I looked up at the sun as it settled on the horizon and the new moon cresting the heavens, and I said, dear God, why aren't you doing something about this? And you know what he said? I am. I created you. And so I tell you the same thing when you ask that question. He is doing something about it. He created each and every one of you in here. Now I know there's someone in this room that have heard these things that are today, and they're so horrific. And they think they should not be spoken in public circles, particularly a church. Let me share something with you. Just because we are a faith-based Judeo-Christian country, principles founded in the Bible, it does not give us a free hall pass to choose what we will hear and see when it comes to this issue. And spared the ugliness. You know why? Because this is what God sees. And he isn't spared the ugliness. So why should we? Now, if there are any survivors here today, this is what I have to say to you, because you need to be encouraged by your fellow Americans. As you get involved in saving lives, whether you start an anti-trafficking organization or you pull together your own army of volunteers, do not teach your people to be safe. Teach them to be brave. The world does not know the evil that has surrounded us in numbers that we cannot even count. Every avenue in life traveled has a potential threat of ambush and uncertainty. There's nothing safe about the trafficking world. And in the midst of it all, you may determine that this is a battle that you will not win. But on this day, you can fight. On this day, you can choose how you live with honor and dignity so that the generations to follow will know that it was your bravery that stood the test of time in the face of all traffickers that no longer had the power to take anything from you. Not your homes, not your family, and certainly not your lives. What you take from them is their power. Let me conclude by cementing your expectations in reality. We will never end child sex trafficking in the world. That's God's job. And for anyone to tell you otherwise means they haven't been in the trenches long enough or realize that God doesn't have a special plan for your life. Did you know that? I see some heads kind of going, what are you talking about? At 68 years old, been downrange a lot, only alive because of God, I've learned that He doesn't have a special plan for our life. What He does is He allows you to be a part of His special plan. It's all His. It's His world. You're His creation. We are not unto ourselves. Without Him leading the battle, without His strength, I promise you, you can do nothing to win this war against child sex trafficking. It ends when He returns. In the meantime, what we do is we take the biggest bite out of it that we can on our watch, and we never, ever, ever give up. And please remember this, it's one of the most important things. I think all my Strike Force recovery team members, everybody in ARC, they understand this, and this is what we live by. This is what we push every mission through with. This is not about you. This is about them. It will never be about you. It is always about them. The greatest leaders in the world are the greatest servants. When you get involved in rescuing children from trafficking, you have to be willing to sacrifice every single breath that you have in your lungs. Do not come to this fight with ego in hand. You will lose miserably. You will be consumed by the darkness. Come with a humble heart before God and ask that He provides you guidance for His great plan. Saving one child will not change the world. But for that one child, their entire world will change forever. Tina.
I'm just going to tell a story. But stories are good lessons. This particular story, your thing fell, sorry. This particular story I picked out of over 500 cases we've worked because it involves a church and it's a great example of God saving kids. So every single case, and Baz would agree that we work, God saves the kid. He uses us, right? But God saves the kids. I like to tell people God's favorite thing to do is save people. It's just all He does, right? And Jesus is the Savior. There is no success in rehabilitating victims. You heard Kathy O'Brien and Hope, imagine humans trying to solve that and bring healing. You can't. Jesus is the only healing. He's the only Savior. So this story, you got to wait because the church part comes in at the end. So it has a bunch of twists and turns, but it's worth waiting for. So wait till the end. So my right-hand people are survivors of sex trafficking. And I know there are several of you in the room. And I was not trafficked. And as much as I have studied, I've worked in this field for 15 years. My best friend was trafficked in high school. I know a lot about it, but I still don't have the instinct that survivors have for that's what that is, and this is what this is. So they're my right-hand people. So one of my survivors pings me and she goes, I got a girl, it's the hardest case, it's gonna blow your mind. Because I always say, God send me to the most lost. I don't want the easy hanging fruit, I want the most lost. So He sent me to Baz. No, actually, he sent me to Baz because that's what ARC does.
ARC goes after the most lost, the ones that no one else can find, the ones that law enforcement can't, no one's looking for them. So my survivor says, this is gonna blow your mind, this case. So we get on as a decoy. And those of you who take the course next week, we're gonna teach you how to do all this whole entire story I'm gonna tell you. You'll be able to do this. So I put on a decoy, Jessie. Jessie is another girl that's being trafficked in the life. She speaks the language, she looks the look. And this is somebody for this victim to talk to, because guess what? She's not gonna talk to somebody that's a rescuer. She's not gonna talk to somebody that's a social worker or a cop or even a pastor. She's only gonna talk to someone who she feels safe talking to. So my survivor and I, she's doing the lingo, right? Because I don't have the lingo. So we're on, she's logged on and I'm logged on, and we are being Jessie together to talk to this girl. This girl's like, I need out. No one can get me out. It's like the worst thing possible, but I'm gonna die. So we're like, well, I've gotta get intel. So what's gonna kill you? My wifey was just killed, and the one before her was killed. I'm 18. I've been in here since I was 9, and I know that when you're 18, you're not worth it anymore, and they're gonna kill me. And I'm pregnant, so they're really gonna kill me. They're done with me. I've got maybe a couple weeks. So I need intel. So I'm like, what happened to your wifey? Well, you can read about it in the paper. I'm going to. Okay, so she was pushed out of the back of a car on a narrow bridge with only 2 lanes. There's no shoulder, and she was run over by oncoming traffic. And sure enough, I'm like, yes, happened. And I go, well, did law enforcement get involved? Oh yeah, but they're all bad here, and so is FBI. Do not call cops, do not try to get out with law enforcement. How do you know that? Well, 2 weeks before that, he killed the other one the same way, pushing her out of the back of a car on that same bridge. So she got run over by oncoming traffic. Law enforcement investigated and said these 2 murders were unrelated. They were accidents. How? How can you say that 2 girls being pushed out of the back of a car and a bridge being, that happens 2 weeks apart, and these are accidents that are unrelated? No way. Okay, so we knew we couldn't go to law enforcement for this. We continue to get information. So I'm like, where are you? I know the city, but I have no idea where I am. Okay, so figure us trying to figure out how to save this girl. How many are you? There are 25 girls, but we have 1-to-1 ratio of enforcers. So every girl has an armed enforcer with her when she goes to the bathroom, when she's sleeping at night. Anywhere she goes, she has an armed enforcer watching her. And they have us in pods of 5 girls with 5 enforcers so they can move us around the country. We go on tour. Okay, I'm looking for an opportunity, and it's not showing itself, right? So you don't know where you are. I don't. Do you know the clubs that you're working? Yes, I know 3 of the names of the clubs I'm working. So we literally did this. How do you know what the course is from where you're working to where your home is? And she's like, we're blindfolded. We don't even know what car we're in. We don't see anything. We're blindfolded, led to the car, blindfolded when we're led back. All we see is the back door of the club. So I said, I want you to count the seconds and the turns. Count how many seconds it takes you before left turn, how many seconds it takes you right turn, and memorize the path. And then I want you to tell me how Club A, Club B, Club C. Based on her counting the number of seconds to the turns and how many turns, we located the street where the house was on. Okay. Okay, stop clapping, because there's no time. Okay, it's a big story, but it's a great story. So now we have the street, but there are like 50 houses on this street. So I'm like, how do we find which house she's in? So have you ever seen anything about the outside of the house? Never seen the outside of the house. Anything. Well, they pulled us in the back, and one time I reached for the door handle, and I could see under the blindfold, there was 3 colors of brick, and the door was white, and the handle was silver. Would you believe there was only 1 house on that street with 3-color brick? So now we're like, we got the house. So what room are you in? What do you see out your window? Well, there are bars on the window, and I can see a fence and a tree. Now we know what room she's in. We drop a team to do surveillance, right? We have to go pattern of life. How many guns are in the house? Guns everywhere. Everybody always has guns. When we go to the car's full of guns. So that is not going to be a place that you can just walk in and go like, hi, we're here to get the girls. So this is going to take some strategy. While we have a team on the ground doing surveillance, one day she goes, oh, I can't talk to you all day today. Why? Well, they dropped off a 9-year-old and I got to break her in. A 9-year-old? How? Well, her mom sold her. For what? I don't really know. But that's how I got here too. My mom dropped me off when I was 9. What happens to the 9-year-olds? They go in the basement. They stay in the basement for years. And they're served up to only high-end elite clients. They never get out of the basement. And that's where they're broken, and that's where they're trained. And when they're trained and they're able to come out and look older, then they can get in the car with us and go to do the clubs. So we're getting the picture here. Our team's on the ground. And all of a sudden she goes, hey, we're gonna be on tour for the next 3 weeks. Where are you going? She gives us the locations. So our team's planning to follow. We're looking for an opportunity to just snatch this girl, right? But we know we're dealing with a lot. What happens to the 9-year-old when you guys are gone? Oh, she goes to warehouse. What warehouse? I don't know. We don't know. They go to the warehouse. That's where the kids go when the other ones are on a tour. So we split the team. And Baz would tell this story. One team follows the 9-year-olds to the warehouse. One team follows the other girls on tour. At the warehouse, believe it or not, there are a bunch of kids, and it's completely controlled by black SUVs and obviously mafia of some kind who are completely controlling this property. We flew drones. I'm making this really fast. We flew drones to monitor the property. We decide, based on the number of bad guys there, that we need a 3-letter agency to help us out. So I get on the phone with my contact with a 3-letter agency. The agency says, yes, we'll call our counterparts, and we're gonna send a team to go raid that place. Guess what really happened? Now, we're flying drones over, and we have surveillance on the ground. That 3-letter agency rolls up, knocks on the door, tips everybody off. Everybody in the building gets into their vehicles and disappears. And we get a call, oh yeah, we searched the property, there's nobody there. You guys are crazy. But we watched that all happen. So, I'm fast forwarding. The girls get back to that house, and we're still on the ground trying to figure out where's our target of opportunity. My girl goes quiet for like 12 hours. I'm terrified because I'm like, they got her, they got her, they got her, they got her. You know, I'm freaking out. So we're praying, and then all of a sudden she pings Jesse, and she goes, hey, I'm in the hospital. Can you get me? This is perfect, because he's not here. How'd you get in the hospital? He's trying to kill my baby because I told him the baby wasn't his. And so he beat me and I was unconscious. I just woke up in the hospital, but nobody's here. So we call our guy in Homeland Security, who calls the hospital, and he's actually an agent, and he goes, yeah, I'm agent so-and-so, HSI, and you have a victim who's a witness to a crime we're investigating. We need you to strike her name from the record and make her disappear. I want her loaded into an ambulance. I want her to take her in an ambulance with nobody watching to a site X where we're gonna pick her up and take custody. That's how we rescued her, right? But God did that. Okay, we're not to the church part yet. So we pick her up, and this is what she wants. She just wants to go home to her mom. I get that. I have 2 daughters, and we're like, you can't go home to your mom. That's the first place they'll look. I'm going home to my mom. That's all I want. You know, she's been separated since she was 9. We want to make her happy, but now we're like, we gotta get mom to help us out, because the first place those bad guys are gonna go is to mom's house. So we get mom to go on a trip and meet her somewhere else, right? So now we're like monitoring where mom and she are to keep her safe from the bad guys, but we've made her disappear because the bad guys left her at the hospital. Anyway, fast forward. She sends me a picture of an engagement ring. What? I'm engaged. What? Explain. Well, it's my baby daddy. Oh, great. Baby daddy. Who's baby daddy? Like, oh no, baby daddy is the son of a pastor of a church. What? Oh, he lives at home with his parents, and I mean, it's kind of a mess. Like, I never thought he'd come back for me, but he wasn't a trick. Like, he didn't pay for me. Like, he loved me. He loved me, and we've been together, and like, but he can't tell anybody, but he did. So I was like, wait a minute. Son of the pastor of a church, gets you pregnant, you're a prostitute, okay? And he's engaged to you? And she goes, yeah, well, I didn't think there was a chance because, well, it's kind of a white church and I'm black. And I'm like, we got problems, girl, you know? And she goes, well, he told his parents that he wanted to do the right thing, that he got a prostitute pregnant. And they said, the right thing is for you to marry this woman and raise this baby. and she can come live with us, and our church will adopt her. So fast forward, she's sending me pictures of this lavish baby shower. She's in a beautiful dress. The church is throwing a huge event for her to give her and the baby. They gave her a down payment on a house. They did the wedding. They embraced, look at the situation they embraced. So I've been watching this girl for a couple years after they have 3 kids now. Every day she posts her devotions and her prayers on Facebook, on Instagram, on everything, because she's a testimony of God's grace and of the body of Christ.
So as you continue to push forward with this project, we won't be able to share some things that are highly sensitive, but I will tell you this multi-billion-dollar industry, they protect it, and they're very sophisticated. And I can assure you that there are influencers and people that come from the highest levels of governments around the world. They use child sex trafficking, organ harvesting, adrenochrome, the list goes on and on and on, to not only make money, but to launder money. And they will also send people to infiltrate your organization, to monitor you every day, to know what you're doing with this project and how you're rescuing kids. And so you need to be very, very smart about this on all the things you do. It is a war. I never, ever thought we would get to a point where espionage would intersect with trafficking. But it is. It is. And it is a big, big business. So please remember this. God doesn't need a lot of people. He just needs the right people. Thank you.
What a, that was awesome. All right. Bazzel and Tina Baz from Association for the Recovery of Children. They are totally awesome. Isn't it encouraging to know that there are people like that out there working the angles? That's really, really beautiful.